They mocked me for how I spoke, for how I looked, for things I could never control. They spread lies, they broke me down, they laughed while I bled. 7 years I endured their torment. And then one day I decided enough was enough, and when I finally struck back, I didn't just ruin their lives. I burned their world to ashes. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to someone who thought they could break you, hit that like button. Subscribe and prepare yourself for one of the darkest, most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. I wasn't born like other kids. A bilateral cleft lip and palate meant my childhood was filled with surgeries, 14 of them, and endless hospital corridors. Even after all of that, my speech was different, not broken, but different. By the time I was 7, I also had a diagnosis, Asperger's syndrome, which meant I saw the world differently, spoke differently, reacted differently. To some, that made me a target. Still, I held on. I learned to smile through braces, through scars, through awkward silences. My early school years weren't easy, but they weren't unbearable. That would all change the moment I met him. His name was Kyle. He walked into my life like a storm. The smirk, the swagger, the eyes of a predator who had just spotted his prey. At first, it was little things. A slap to the back of my head, a whisper behind my shoulder, a rumor spreading like wildfire in the cafeteria, but little things grow. By year 9, Kyle wasn't just a bully, he was a ringleader. His crew, his Karens, his Kyles, they mobbed me daily. They shoved me down staircases, trapped my tie indoors, and laughed as I choked. Spread vile rumors, theft, racism, even things too dark to repeat. And the worst cut of all? They shouted, "Your dad never loved you." He knew about my parents' divorce. He used it against me. I kept telling myself, just survive, just get through the day. But every day, surviving felt more like dying. Finally, I told my mom. I thought maybe, just maybe, the adults would help. My tutor brought me to the head teacher. Relief washed over me. Until she opened her mouth, she didn't help me. She didn't protect me. She told me I was mentally deficient, that I belonged with the retards at MenCap. Words that cut sharper than any blade. And then, she suspended me for wasting her time. For the false accusations Kyle's parents had written, that was the day I learned. Authority wasn't going to save me. I was on my own. From that moment on, Kyle had free rein. The threats escalated. Arson, murder, even worse. They followed me into 6th form, choosing the same A-levels just to haunt me. Computing, physics, construction, maths. I studied while they spat in my face, and the head teacher, always on their side. Every punishment, every insult, targeted at my cleft, my Asperger's. By the time prom arrived, I thought maybe I'd get one normal day. But Kyle and his gang came dressed in filth. Costumes that would shame a dungeon, a gulag, and yet they were crowned prom king and queen. I sat there, disgust burning in my veins, and whispered to myself, this ends now. 7 years of pain had forged something inside me. Not weakness, not defeat, something harder, something sharper. I had evidence. Thousands of photos, hours of recordings, every bruise, every insult, every threat, and I had skills. Years of computing classes, knowledge of networks, of vulnerabilities. Kyle thought he was untouchable, but he had no idea. I was about to pull him down. Kyle had earned a scholarship to Oxford University. Medical engineering, a future, prestige, everything. It made me sick. So with GF's help, I slipped into Kyle's university email. Weeks of watching, waiting, collecting, and then I unleashed it all. The photos, the recordings, the proof of years of abuse, sent straight to the head of college, the tutors, the people who held his future in their hands. I expected silence. Instead, I got a call. They wanted clarification. I gave them every detail. GF backed me up. A week later, Kyle was expelled, permanently banned from Oxford, blacklisted from medical courses nationwide. His future shattered, and still, I wasn't finished. I hacked his home email, his Facebook, thousands of friends, A girlfriend 15 years older. I posed as him. Posted the evidence. Every slap, every insult, every scar laid bare. Within 24 hours, Kyle went from 1,500 friends to almost none. His girlfriend? Gone. His friends? Silent. His reputation? Ashes. Then came his YouTube channel. Nearly 1 million subscribers. Years of work. Deleted. Gone. His meltdown online was poetry. He ranted about algorithms, curses, conspiracies. He named me. He knew. But he couldn't stop it. Twitter, Twitch, Reddit. All poisoned. All erased. And when I found his credit card info, I drained his money. Shut down his phone. Kyle wasn't just broken. He was erased, but monsters don't die quietly. One October night, he came pounding on my door, screaming, threatening. He hurled a brick through my window, shattered a wall, but GF, quick as ever, scared him off. Still, the rage in my veins told me this wasn't enough. Kyle had burned my childhood. Now it was my turn. With GF's knowledge of weapons, his father's military background, and my construction training, we planned something. Final. One night, masked and prepared, we struck. His house was empty, his family away. We smashed, we shattered, we set fire. Flames devoured the walls. The night sky glowed orange. When it was over, there was nothing left but ashes and rubble. The town blamed Kyle, the notorious vandal. He was charged, shunned, abandoned. His parents disowned him. No insurance, no home, no future. Kyle's world was gone, but I wasn't done. Not yet. The head teacher who had betrayed me, I had recordings of her too. Every insult, every fabricated charge, I sent it all to Ofsted. They stormed the school, rated it failing, fired her on the spot. Then came the flood of complaints from every school she'd worked at. Crimes, abuse, blackmail. Even worse, the final verdict? She was barred for life, added to the sex offenders list. Sentenced to 40 years, no parole. Her career, her life, destroyed. Kyle, the bully who mocked my scars, ruined my childhood. Now penniless, homeless. Hated. H, the authority who told me I was worthless, now disgraced, locked away forever. And me? For the first time in my life, I was free. People love to say forgiveness is the path forward, but forgiveness without justice? That's just surrender. Sometimes karma needs a little push, and when you've been shoved down your whole life, pushing back feels glorious. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe, because trust me, there are more stories like this waiting in the dark.